In episode 135 for August 24th, 2020, details on how researchers can use audio recordings of keys being used in locks to create copies, Carnival Cruise Lines becomes the victim of a ransomware attack, and a data broker exposes nearly 235 million profiles scraped from social media sites. Your digital privacy is more important than ever, which is why I use and recommend a Silent Pocket Faraday sleeve for my smartphone when I want to get off the grid. Check out their full product line of privacy gear at silentpocket.com and take 15% off your order by using discount code SHAREDSECURITY at checkout.
You're probably aware that social engineering attacks like the recent high-profile account takeovers on Twitter are costing businesses millions of dollars in direct financial losses, lost productivity, and business disruption. But what can you do about it? Well, it starts with making sure your staff are aware of how they can be targeted and exploited. That's why we're excited to announce ClickArmor's new gamified social engineering module called Fakes and Frauds. Unlike traditional training, where employees watch the same video every year and they really don't learn much, ClickArmor's game-based training offers learning quizzes, puzzles, and fun exercises that really grab people's attention and get them thinking about real-life threats that they will face in the future. Gamified learning that is visually dynamic and animated is proving to be 80% more engaging. So employees are therefore more motivated to learn defensive skills. When you can show that employees are actually learning, you get a much better return on security awareness training investment. So visit us at clickarmor.ca today to access your free trial of Fakes and Frauds gamified social engineering defense course.
There was a fascinating story this week about how security researchers have discovered that the sound of a key being inserted into a physical lock gives attackers all they need to make a working copy of that key. And while this sounds like something out of a James Bond or Hollywood movie, researchers say that they have proven that the audible, metallic clicks that a key makes as it penetrates a lock can be deciphered by advanced signal processing software to reveal the exact shape of those little key ridges on the shaft of a key. Once this determination is made, a working copy of the key can then be 3D printed. The discovery in the technique named SpyKey was made by Soundara Ramesh and her team at the National University of Singapore. So you may be asking yourself, how would an attacker get the audio from a key being inserted into a lock? Well, the researchers developed a few scenarios. First, someone could walk by a victim opening a lock while their phone is recording. Another method would be to install malware on the victim's smartphone or smartwatch to record and send the audio to the attacker. Third, an IoT device like a surveillance camera or Amazon Echo could be hacked to record the audio. And lastly, use a long-distance microphone that could be hidden to record the audio while a key is inserted into a lock. Now, this research only applies to pin tumbler locks, which are known as Yale or Schlage keys, which have a possibility of around 330,000 possible key shapes. Using the SpyKey technique, researchers were able to reduce the number of possible key shapes to only 3. So what kind of defenses would be available for an attack like this? Well, researchers have suggested that you could insert your key more quietly and slowly, smooth out the key ridges so that the click noise is reduced, and that's about it. So should we all be worried that popular pin tumbler locks are now insecure? Well, many experts say not so fast. Because the research was limited and done in more of an experiment or lab setting, it's hard to determine if this would really be an actual technique that would be used by criminals. Some experts argue you would really need some advanced microphone equipment other than a smartphone for this to be successful. There's also the high probability that other outside noise or the jangling of a key ring may hinder the recording, or the fact that you may need to capture multiple recordings to be successful make this attack pretty low risk. Also, most thieves use techniques that are not that sophisticated anyway. 95% of all home invasions are usually just kicking down a door or breaking a window. And don't forget that most break-ins are crimes of opportunity, meaning many people are not locking doors to begin with, and most thieves are not going to be pulling off any type of Ocean's 11 highly technical theft to begin with. And now a word from our sponsor, Edgewise Networks. The biggest problem in security that remains unsolved are flat networks in cloud and data centers, with unprotected attack paths that allow threats to move laterally to cause data breaches. But microsegmentation using network addresses is complicated and takes too much time. But there's a better approach: Edgewise Zero Trust Auto Segmentation. Edgewise is impossibly simple microsegmentation, delivering results immediately with a security outcome that's provable. At the core of Edgewise Auto Segmentation is Zero Trust Identity, which allows workloads to communicate only after their software identity has been verified. Malicious or unimproved software is no longer allowed to communicate. Identity-based protection provides more coverage with fewer policies to make Edgewise simple to deploy and manage. No changes to the application or network are required. One solution protects virtual machines and containers in the cloud and on-premises. To stop lateral threat movement and prevent breaches, visit edgewise.net for a demo and to see results within minutes. The world's largest cruise ship operator, Carnival Corporation, disclosed on Thursday last week that they were the victim of a ransomware attack. In an 8K filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Carnival said that the attack took place on August 15th. Carnival said the attackers, quote, accessed and encrypted a portion of one brand's information technology systems, and that the intruders also downloaded files from the company's network. Carnival also revealed that it expects that the attackers gained access to some guest and employees' personal data. However, Carnival also mentioned in the filing that even though they predict some potential lawsuits, Carnival stated that it does not expect the incident to have a material impact on its business, operations, or financial results. No further details about the attack were disclosed. Given that the coronavirus has pretty much devastated the cruise line business and, well, the entire travel industry across the world, a ransomware attack is the last thing a company like Carnival needs right now. But this isn't the first time that Carnival has had a security breach during this pandemic. Back in March of this year, Carnival disclosed that an attacker had gained access to their internal network from April to July of last year, where more customer and employee personal data was compromised. Security researchers from Comparitech said that a social media data broker called Social Data exposed nearly 235 million profiles, which were scraped from Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Profile data included names, contact and personal info, images, and statistics about followers. Note that all this data was scraped from publicly available social media profiles. Comparitech research showed that most of this data came from a company now out of business called Deep Social. Comparitech reached out to Deep Social, who forwarded the issue to a new company called Social Data, who acknowledged the issue, and in about 3 hours, the servers housing the data were no longer accessible. Social Data stated that this was publicly available information to anyone on the internet, stating that no one was hacked, but also gave no reason to why this large amount of profile data was exposed in an open database. It's also unknown if this data was accessed by anyone malicious or not. Exposed databases like these are frequently harvested by spammers and used by attackers in phishing campaigns. Web scraping is a popular automated technique used to gather information off of websites and social networks. The big issue here is that web scraping violates the terms of service for social networks like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. In fact, Deep Social themselves were banned by Facebook and Instagram from their marketing APIs in 2018 because of web scraping activities. So what can we learn from this and other incidents which expose our public profile data? First, be careful what you put in your public social media profiles. That includes your email, real name, phone number, hobbies, or other details that could be used in a phishing or social engineering attack. Always remember to consider everything you post as public information and think about how it could be used against you. That's all for this week's show. Visit our website, sharedsecurity.net, for all previous episodes and to sign up for our email newsletter. First-time listener to the show? Please subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Shared Security Show.